Hey guys, welcome to the Angry Black Girl podcast. I'm your host Amina Gray. So for those of you who don't know or who doesn't follow me on social media, I'm basically creating this podcast to go alongside of my coffee table book that I'm making for my final major project. So in the coffee table book, I have 5 chapters. I'm just going to go through the chapters real quick and then I can explain what to expect in my podcast. So the first chapter is Black Bitch. This chapter, like the stereotype of the modern Jezebel version. So it's the over-sexualization of black females, from like how from a young age we're always sexualized to make it seem like us growing up is a bad thing. So we're always told that we should be dressed more modest, like take care of ourselves, like if something happens it's because we were basically begging for it. It also relates to being called ghetto and ratchet just for the way that we dress, but if a white person was to do the same thing, they are kind of praised and it's not really seen in a negative light. The second chapter is Black Love, and this chapter is basically about embracing our black skin, like friendship wise, the relationship type of love, and like the motherhood. It's kind of like embracing yourself, self-love, and that's what I kind of want to bring into this chapter. Third chapter is Strong Independent Black Woman. I kind of want to show how the black female is the black man's biggest supporter, but we don't get that love back. Fourth chapter is Don't Touch My Hair. I don't think this chapter needs any explaining, as majority of us black females have said once in our life to someone to not put their hands in their hair without permission. My final chapter is Black Girl Magic, and this is just to show how magical black girls are. It's in the name, so it's really just there. I decided to create this podcast because I felt like it would be a way to get good content for my coffee table book. So I don't know if anyone's read a coffee table book, but there's not really much, whereas it's kind of mainly photos. I just wanted to give the audience more of an understanding of why I'm doing this and what I expect to gain from it. I plan on having 10 episodes in total for my podcast. The first one being Angry Black Girl, which is this one, but this one will be split into 2 parts because I wanted another person to be alongside me, but I kind of want to be by myself when I'm introducing my first episode. The second one will be Black Bitch, which is basically the first chapter in my book, like the over-sexualization of black females and why should we be ashamed of our body in a way for just, developing faster than any other like race or ethnic group. Third chapter, You Sound White. People have called me an Oreo for majority of my life because I don't use slang, and I just feel like it's kind of insulting for black people in general for me to say that, but I go more in depth about that in that episode. Fourth chapter is Black Love, which is also split into 2 parts as it was kind of long, so I thought maybe actually split it so it's like a little of a break between the 2. The 5th episode is the Me Too movement, which some of you may not know, but it was actually created by black females, but it's kind of like this one's not generally about race itself and about how female, like not even just females but people together, like survivors, can like speak on their story and everything. 6th chapter, Strong Independent Black Woman. When I recorded this one, it was kind of weird, like me and the person that done it, we were kind of confused because it can mean so many different things, so we kind of had to like break it down and be like, okay, what does it mean to me? How can we fix it as a society, as a general? Episode 7, When the Industry Pretends You Don't Exist. For me, this one kind of hits hard from home because I basically grew up in the industry. Well, I grew up like, obviously I'm like in the beauty industry, so going out to buy makeup, I realized I had to spend twice as much more. I spend not even twice, like probably 5 times more than my white friends when buy a foundation, or like I spend way more on hair products. It's just ridiculous. We're kind of downplayed and we're not seen as a target audience when majority of the time we spend 6 times more locally on beauty products than any other race. Episode 8, Don't Touch My Hair. Like I said when I was explaining my chapters, you do not need an explanation for this, but I will give it to you in that episode. Episode 9, My Blackness Is What Makes Me Beautiful. This one, because I have loads of like little cousins, and majority of them are dark, like way darker than me. They're on like they're what you call dark skin, like they have the rich chocolate color, and even though they won't say it, I feel like majority of them do not like their color. You don't really see the girl on the advert with 4C dark skin hair. If you do see someone that is complete dark skin, they are toned, they're in like a weave, they are like shimmering. You don't see the everyday girl look up to and resemble, like be like, oh, when I grow up, that's how I want to be confident, all of that. The final chapter is Black Girl Magic. Calling that one was just my favorite one, like I just enjoyed it. These are my episodes and that's what you should expect. I plan on releasing every Wednesday from 7 p.m. I will try and make it, but if I don't, I am completely sorry, but that shouldn't be an issue because I'm always on time. The reason why I've done this is because as a black woman myself, myself, I feel like I always get overlooked, or if I'm always speaking my mind, I'm always seen as an aggressive person. Majority of the time I speak on a monotone, like I'm always calm. I don't give anyone a reason to look at me and be like, oh, she's being angry, because I know as soon as I raise my voice, I'm going to be stereotyped to be an angry person, and that's just not me. Like, I'm just a happy person. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it. I'll go more in depth in the second section of this episode. Yeah, stay tuned for part 2.